I don't dance. Hey everybody, welcome back. Yes, I had to use that clip one more time. I was going to be using it for like the end of all my season 1 episodes after I first did it, but a lot of the last episodes were pretty heavy or like emotional, and it really wasn't going to fit with that, so I'm like, I gotta use it one more time. I had a lot of fun doing that, so yeah, I like doing extra things like that, and what I did with the Buffy review with the cheese. I just think it's fun adding little unique little nods to the show, and hopefully there are more things in the future that happen on the shows that I can incorporate, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But yeah, today we'll be doing the review for season 1 of Angel, obviously. First time I'm doing a review for Angel, obviously. This one will probably be much shorter than the Buffy one, because if you go back to my older Buffy reviews, like the first one I did was only like a half hour, second one was like 45 minutes, and then it kind of gone up, but honestly, there isn't that big of a cast in the show, and still getting used to the show, so I really don't think I'm going to have that much to talk about, but hey, who knows. I do tend to ramble. But yeah, I was really, really excited for, to start this show ever since I found out. Like, from when I first started Buffy, I knew there was a spin-off, but I didn't know what it was about, and I didn't want to know what it was about. I didn't learn until, like, I think season 3, after Angel came back, I learned that there was a spin-off, and it was Angel, and I was really excited for it because I really loved Angel's character. So even then, I didn't really know what I was going into. I didn't know if the series was going to be a prequel series. It could have been just literally the flashbacks we see, but like in episode form, seeing them back in the day. But I really didn't know what to expect. I think I'm glad it's like this, because I like that it's able to have crossovers, and it's like in the same time as Buffy is. But yeah, regarding this review, be just like my other reviews. I'll just talk about the season in general. I'll talk a bit about the characters, and then I'll answer your guys' questions. Then I do have my top 5 episodes and my predictions for season 2. So yeah, like I said, I really didn't know what to expect coming into this. I didn't know how the show was going to go. I mean, it quickly became aware it was kind of like Monster of the Week, kind of similar to how Buffy was in the beginning, though it had the twist of Angel having kind of like his own like investigation, like detective type thing where people came to him for help. So it had that kind of different twist on it, which was nice, something fresh. And I kind of liked that it was different from Buffy, because as the season went on, I realized like how each episode almost felt standalone. There was a like intermittently, like there was a plot going along with like Angel and his redemption and stuff like that, and different other little things, but it wasn't like having a huge arc like with Buffy. Like usually halfway through the season you'd know who the big bad was, and from that point on, it was building to the final battle. But with Angel, it was kind of, each episode almost had like its own like ooh, up and then the next episode ooh, up and down, which I like. It was different. I didn't want it to be exactly like Buffy. I wanted it to be its own show, still be connected, like with the world and stuff, and still have references, but still be its own. I think it really helped bringing on Cordelia and Wesley, characters we've already known, we know Angel, but you know what I mean. Bringing on more characters to kind of connect the two worlds, but still turn them into their own new characters in a way, because they did change from what they were like on Buffy. But I just liked that it was different. It had a darker feel, like they're in LA, like the city, much bigger city compared to like Sunnydale. Had much just like darker and more heavy feel to it. But like I said, going into each episode, I'd be like, I have no idea where this is going. I don't know how this season's gonna wrap up. And literally till the last episode, I literally did not know what was gonna happen. But I'm really, really glad that they did do this show, because I think it really, really expanded on Angel's character. Don't get me wrong, I loved him on Buffy Angel. You know how much of a Angel shipper I am. Even so, I loved him on Buffy. He was one of my favorite characters. But on that show, Buffy is the main character, obviously, and then we have all the other characters. And Angel was pretty much, okay, Buffy's boyfriend, and then, well, he was a villain, Buffy's boyfriend. Then he was there, he helped out, but I think his character couldn't really go that far because they couldn't spend that much time focusing on him and showing flashbacks and such, because they had to focus on other things. So giving him that and giving Cordelia more of a main role, and even Wesley, and even the new characters like Doyle, even though we didn't know him long, I think it just opened up way more opportunities to do so much more. And I don't know if future seasons will have more of an arc to them, or if it'll continue like this, having kind of mini arcs and kind of just standalone episodes. But I am very excited to see where it's going to go and how it's going to evolve and what other crossovers we're going to get. But I think in the beginning of the season it was a little shaky. Like, you could definitely tell they were trying to figure out what kind of show they wanted to be, how they could stand apart from Buffy. So you could tell they were trying to find their way. But I think as the season went on and near the end of the season, it was really coming into its own show now, and it feels way more separated from Buffy. The feel of it, even despite having characters that were on Buffy. I've always enjoyed spin-offs. Like, I really enjoy the Vampire Diaries spin-offs, especially Legacies. I enjoy spin-offs, usually a lot of times spin-offs happen near the end of, like, one show, and they continue on while the other show's not. Well, no, Vampire Diaries and Originals were on at the same time, but then Originals ended, and Legacies is, like, it's on its own now. But I like that it continues on with the world. Yes, you're like a new part, new characters, but you still have some of the characters and some of the references, and it kind of continues on. So I usually really enjoy spin-offs. Usually, I don't like them as much as the original show. Now with like Legacies, I do enjoy it more than the Vampire Diaries, but so far I can't say I enjoy Angel more yet than Buffy, because I've had so many more seasons of Buffy and I've been so much more connected to that show. But I'm really enjoying Angel, and I'm looking forward to future seasons. I'm sure I'm going to love it as much as I love Buffy. But yeah, this season had a bunch of amazing episodes, funny moments. I think it left room for amazing crossovers we saw with Faith. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what else it's going to bring to us. Talking about the characters, of course, we'll start with Angel. I think when he first came on the show, he was still very close to his character on Buffy. Still kind of broody, a little dark, wanted to be on his own. And then he met Doyle, Cordelia came back in, and as it went on, we were seeing him in a new light. Definitely with his humor, and he was just very cute and a little goofy at times. Something we had never seen him like on Buffy. Like, I don't think he ever had a very humorous moment on Buffy. But he's had so many moments on the show, and his character's evolved so much. I mean, he's still the Angel we knew, but he has so many different facets now. Things that I wish we could have seen him be like around Buffy. But I'm glad this expanded on it. I think, like, Angel's character a lot this season was a lot about redemption for the things he did in his past, as Angelus. I think he just continues to want to help, and I feel like he probably doesn't think no matter how much he does, it's never going to erase what he did, but it will make it better, at least. And now, at the end of the season, we get this prophecy that he is going to live. After he goes through all these things, he's going to live, so he's going to become human. So now his redemption's not going to just be forever as a vampire, just doing these things. He's redeeming himself, and he's going to be getting another second chance to be human. So, I don't know. They said there was a lot of things to go through first, so I don't know if this is like kind of a series-wide arc, like all the way through to like the final season that he's going to become human, like maybe at the series finale. That'd be a really good way to end it. Don't tell me, of course. But I'm just thinking him having his own show, his character was so interesting, just like all the characters on Buffy are. I mean, they could all have their own shows, but I think that this will really expand on his character and can open a lot of cool plots. Then we had Cordelia, somebody I never expected to see on Angel. Like I said before, when I started the show, I didn't know anything about it, who was going to be on it. I honestly didn't expect any characters from Buffy to be, like, switch over to it. I knew we'd probably get crossovers because it happens on spin-offs when they're connected to another show. But I didn't expect to see Cordelia, and, like, first episode, she's there, I'm like, she's going to be a main character, because back in the beginning of Buffy, I really didn't like her, and then she grew on me throughout the seasons where I ended up liking her, but I expected that she would just go on to college with them, probably. I know her family was having problems with money, but I thought she'd figure out a way, and she'd still be in the show somehow. But she ended up coming on to Angel because she was in LA trying to start her acting career, which wasn't going very well. But I honestly think her being on this show was probably the best thing they could have ever done for her character, because, yes, she was main cast on Buffy, but she never really got, like the storylines that she could have. Now that she's on Angel, her character can do so much more and develop so much more, and I feel like on Buffy, she had hit a plateau. I don't really think her character could have gone above that, unless they did something to her character like they did in Angel, but I think having her on Angel and being in such a small cast really let her, her character bloom, and especially once she got the visions, and, her character in this season has grown more than she grew in 3 seasons of Buffy, so I'm really excited to see where her character's going to go now, because she's still getting the visions, because I thought that the powers that be that died, but it was the oracles who were connected to the powers that be, so she's still obviously going to be getting the visions, and I think now that she saw all the pain through the world, all those visions, it's going to be even more important to her now. I think she's going to take it much more seriously, because usually it was kind of comedic, where, she'd be like, and then she'd be like, oh man, it's slimy, she kind of make a joke out of it, but I think now it's going to be, she knows she needs to help, and I think she's going to take it way more seriously, so I'd really love for her character to cross over to Buffy, to show how much she's changed. I think it'd be really cool to see her over there now, in that world now. It would feel so different. It'd be interesting to see her, interact with Xander now that he's with Anya, and just her reaction maybe to Willow and Tara being together, and I think it would be really fun seeing her over there now that she's evolved so much. Another one that's evolved a lot is Wesley. Another character I kind of forgot about, because he was in season 3, and he was really funny. I really enjoyed him. I thought he was cute and just goofy. But when season 3 ended, and he was, going back to England, I thought that was where his character ended. So when they brought him in after Doyle died, rest in peace, I didn't expect it. Like I said, I forgot about him, so I was shocked. But I thought it was funny because he's so goofy in like this darker tone of this show. Same with Cordelia. Like, you think her character kind of wouldn't really match this show, but she just mixed in so well. But same with Wesley. When I first saw him, I didn't really think his character would become a main character that fast. But seeing as shows, usually you lose one character, another one comes in kind of in their place, sadly. But I think Wesley was an amazing choice. Because he was connected to the Buffy show, and he really had nothing else on there. And I think he brought a dynamic to the group. Like, he really kind of helped bring out that goofy side of Angel, and I think they're what he needed. He's almost like their Giles. Like, he can really help with the books and like the information on demons, and obviously with the scroll. So I think it was really good, and I also think it happened gradually but fast at the same time. From when he first came on and he was such the like goofy, clumsy Wesley from Buffy, and as it went on to him to the end of the season, he's already changed quite a lot. Like, he's still funny Wesley, but he's gotten much more serious, much more mature. Like, I'm excited to see how his character's going to develop even further because he's already changed so much. But I don't want to say he replaced Doyle, even though he kind of did. But I think out of everybody they could have replaced him with, this was a great choice. Speaking of Doyle, I miss Doyle. Doyle was a great character, very interesting, half demon. He could kind of relate to what Angel was going through, and he had a connection towards like that side of the world, even though he kind of didn't want nothing to do with it, but he still had the knowledge on demons and such. And of course he had the visions, which was very beneficial to the group if he would have stayed on, not given them to Cordelia. I really wish there was more I could talk about with him, but he had such a short amount of time. I really wish we could have seen where him and Cordelia's relationship would have went. There was a build-up towards it. They kissed, and then he died, sadly. I think the way he went, saving half-demons, in any other way they could have killed him off, I think that was a perfect way. He was finally, I think, accepting who he was. And even though it's a terrible way to go, I hope he's in a good place now. What would have been amazing is if, like, he could have been the new connections to the Power That Be. Like, whenever they went to the place with the oracles, like, he was there. I think that would have been really nice. I really miss him. But even the small amount he was on the show, he really did leave an impact. And we saw even after that how sad Angel was, because they were really good friends. And then we've also had Gunn, a character that I didn't expect to see beyond Warzone. I know we've only seen him a few times since then. I didn't really care for him in the beginning, just the way he treated Angel. I understood why he treated Angel that way. And then sadly he had to kill his own sister when she became a vampire. But since then, he's been a very big help, helping Angel get a distraction so he could get into the safe at Wolfram and Hart, and to help protect Wesley and Cordelia when they were in the hospital at the end. So I don't know if he's going to continue being a recurring character, or if he's going to be on more, but I'm interested to see more of his character. Don't really know much about him yet, but he already, after a few episodes, I'm liking him more if he stays on a nicer track. Speaking of Wolfram and Hart, we also had Lindsay, Lila, the one dude that got killed. We've had like the few reoccurring lawyers. Yeah, I didn't really mention Wolfram and Hart before when I was talking about, I guess in a way they're kind of the big bad. More so, yes, now at the end of the season, now when they started doing more stuff towards Angel. It's interesting having Organization as the big bad, kind of like a bad version, like Initiative. like the big organization in Buffy season 4. Now we have like Wolf and Heart, this big organization, which seems to have a lot of connections with demons and bad stuff, and they make sure the bad guys like get off in court. And the only one we really got any info on more was Lindsay. I mean, more character development, and I do like him. I feel like he's a good guy, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was just the kids being threatened that made him want help, but he switched back over really fast. I don't know if he really had a choice. It was disappointing. I feel like he does have a chance of being redeemed. There is something there. I don't know where they're going to go with this character. Then we had Lila, which we haven't seen her much. I do like her attitude, so I'm curious to see more of her. And then the others, I don't have much to say with them because we don't see them very often. They're just like the bad guys, really. Who else? Like I said, there's a pretty small cast. Then we had the kind of nerdy guy, David? The rich guy. I feel like they kept trying to integrate him into the group. I don't think it's going to work out, but I do think he was cute. I feel bad for him. Kate. When she first came on, I really expected her to be the new love interest for Angel, or at least potential future love interest for Angel, because that's just how shows go. Then when we find out she was a cop, I'm like, okay, this can be Angel's connection to the police that can help out when he needs help. Like, I knew she'd probably find out he was a vampire and find out about demons, but I thought she'd help out, you know? I guess maybe if she had found out in a nicer, safer way. She found out when Angel's vampire he created came back and they were fighting and he had to protect her. So I think at that point, if nothing happened to her dad after that, maybe she would have been a bit better with it. It would have took time. But then her dad gets killed by vampires, and from that point on, like, I was already getting kind of annoyed with her. But that point on, I get it. Your dad was killed. You're an orphan because your mom was killed. I mean, your mom died in the past. I understand that it was a lot to take in, but I feel like she was just continuously attacking Angel. Like, you can't get away from the law, you're doing this stuff, blah, blah, when she knew he was saving lives and helping people. And it was almost like when Cordelia walked in on Willow and Xander and she got injured. And we had the wish scenario, and the way she was treating Xander for a while, okay, you get that for a while. You deserve to feel that way. But it got to a point where I was like, okay, Cordelia, your grace period's done, you gotta stop. I feel like the same thing for Kate. Of course, she could be mad at Angel, even though he didn't do anything wrong. But he's in that world. And I get it. But after a certain point, it was like, come on. Especially during the finale, their headquarters blow up. Wesley is hurt. Cordelia's in the hospital too. She's in trouble. And Kate's like, stop, you can't keep doing that, And that's why I was just like, I was so done. And that speech he gave her, it was like, yes. I don't know where her character's gonna go. I hope he knocks some sense into her, because she could be a very big help for them, having somebody on the inside of the cops. But right now, I'm very annoyed with her. And then we got Darla at the end of the season. We had her throughout the season with flashbacks and stuff like that, but I didn't think anything of it because she had died back in Buffy, season 1, episode 7, Angel, right? So I thought, okay, we're just going to get her in flashbacks. It's cool still seeing her and seeing more background on her and Angel/Angelus's relationship and their journey together and what happened. But I never expected her to see her alive. Well, dead, alive, not fully dead, you know what I mean? Undead. So when they were doing the box thing, I thought it was going to make this giant vampire monster thing. And then when they showed her in the box at first, because she was a bit disheveled, obviously, so I didn't really, I thought it was her, but it wasn't until, like, they literally said Darla, and I'm like, what? That's the least, I would never thought of her being in the box. I don't, obviously whatever they wanted in the box was to stop Angel. So I'm guessing something, since she's the one that created him, maybe there's something they could do with her to kill Angel. I have no idea where they're going with that. Like, yeah. But, yeah, we had just some, like I said, a small cast, but still a lot of character development. So I'm really excited to see where it's going to go next. Sorry if I forgot anybody. I think that's pretty much, my mind's just going through pretty much like the main stuff. But yeah. Okay, now we're going to go into your guys' questions. I'm going to start with Patreon, then go to YouTube. I think there's not that many on Patreon, but I do have a nice amount on YouTube. But I'm going to start on Patreon. Okay, Misty Gardner asked, what surprised you the most from the differences between Angel and Buffy? Storylines, the lore, etc. Did you think it was a good idea to bring Cordy and Wesley over to Angel? And how do you feel about this group compared to that on Buffy? I pretty much already talked about this before, but I can talk more about the ending. How do I feel this group compared to Buffy's group? I think they work really well together. Like, I really love Doyle, the three with Doyle, and now the three with Wesley. And throughout the season, I already said, like, the writers are really good at really bonding characters, but I think, at the end of the season, just seeing them together in the hospital, I'm like, these guys, like, I would have never expected those three to be, like, a group, but they go well together so well, and they really are like a little family. I will say I'm not as, compared to my connection I feel towards the group on Buffy, I'm not there yet, because it's only been one season, but I'm sure it'll get to that point, because these writers just know how to write relationships and just connections and bonds, like, very well. That's what these shows do the best. The characters, really. Christine asked what was my favorite season 1 episode. I'm going to be doing my top 5, so I'll leave that till after. Sorry about that. UTU49 asked, how do I feel about the similarities and differences between Buffy and Angel so far? Kind of already talked about this, but I really enjoy the differences in the tones of the show and the different structures of the show. But I do enjoy that it still keeps the Buffyverse similar to it, so they still feel like they're in the same universe, even though they're different. And do you feel like you have a sense of where the Angel series is headed? Or is it more of a case where you really don't know what to expect? I have no idea what to expect, other than the scroll saying that Angel is possibly going to become human, so that's kind of like the end point, maybe. Other than that, I know they're probably going to go against Wolfram and Hart, and now Darla's here, but really, I have no idea, and I like not knowing. KT asked, who is your favorite character right now? And who do you think had the best arc of the main characters? My favorite character is still Angel. I think I had such a big connection with him back on Buffy. I still really love him, but I love all the characters. But if I had to pick, probably Angel. And who do I think had the best arc? Probably Cordelia. Because when she first came on, she was kind of the same old Cordelia, but her working with Angel in the group and getting the visions and having that want to help people, and I think it's really given her more compassion and it's really, her character has changed so much in the span of one season compared to 3 seasons of Buffy. So I think Cordelia. Miriam Doust asked, in the episode Eternity, there were some interesting discussions about Angel's curse and love relationships. Angel didn't want to get close to Rebecca because he liked her and considered that too dangerous. Cordelia was afraid that Angel would have to lose his soul after spending the night with her, while Wesley seemed less concerned and pointed out how rare that true happiness was. What are your thoughts on the question? How do you think the curse works, and do you envision the possibility of Angel being in a love relationship? Like I said, he has to have a moment of true, pure happiness. That doesn't always necessarily mean sex. It just happened with Buffy. Because I think, I said before, it was like when the thoughts of what he's done doesn't plague his mind, like the guilt, he doesn't feel that. That's his true happiness. And I think with Buffy, having sex with her and that connection, that love connection, it just happened. But I don't necessarily think that means that if he has sex with somebody else, like he could have had sex with Rebecca. And yeah, he could have enjoyed it, obviously. But I think his time with Buffy was special, that connection. I think they're like soulmates. Soulmates. I'm not saying that it'll never happen again. He could be with somebody else, and it could happen again. But I don't think that should hold him back from finding somebody else to love. I mean, it is a risk. But I feel like true happiness, that true happiness where you're not thinking, right, like, is very rare. Because, I'm sure when he was, oh, that wouldn't count, never mind. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm sure he had sex when he was in Jealous, but it doesn't matter, he doesn't have a soul anyway. But yeah, I think it was a very, very, very rare occurrence. I mean, even if he had sex with Buffy again, having it on his mind of what could happen, and having that in his mind, he might not have that pure happiness again. It might not happen every time. So I think it's really a tricky situation, but I think it's very rare. And what did you think of the depiction of demons in the demon world in Angel compared to what we saw in Buffy? I think we're definitely seeing more of the demon side of things, especially since Angel has a demon in him. So I think we're seeing it in a much darker but more relatable to demons in a sense, if that makes sense. Rachel asks, we got to explore Angel's character in Season 1, but a delightful surprise was the writers taking advantage of David Boreanaz's goofiness and showing a comedic side to Angel, which I love. We got everything from Angel's discomfort with cell phones to his social awkwardness to outright absurdity, dancing, Herb Saunders. It's very humanizing. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a different side of him. What were your favorite comedic Angel moments? Obviously, him dancing. That's easy. Him dancing and him crushing or trying to crush the coffee beans and exploding, which both happened in the same episode. Those are still some of my favorite scenes of the entire show so far. But yes, also the Herb Saunders, him with the cell phone, a lot of his just cute, there were so many, like, every humorous moment was, like, my favorite. I love seeing different sides to him. I love seeing the broody, kind of mysterious, like, dark Angel, but also seeing this side of him, so I'm really hoping we get more moments like that. Taz Sim asked, how bad do you think Darla's morning breath was after being dead for 3 years? Probably not amazing, unless she just got remade, so maybe it was fresh. Do you think Angel Investigation has tea or just coffee? Both, because I think Wesley probably really loves tea, so I'll probably have tea for him and then coffee for the others. What sport do you think vampires would be best at? Are there any sports at night? Probably sports at night or something with strength, so wrestling? I never really thought about it before. I don't know. um, how does Angel do his hair with no mirror? That's been kind of brought up before. I think it's just routine. He probably just goes and just hopes it's fine. Are you going to name your next cat Willow or Miss Kitty Fantastico? And when you said Miss Kitty Fantastico, did you sing it or say it? If you sang it, was it in baritone? No, I just said it, obviously. Was I supposed to say it a different way? Well, actually, Callie's sister, one of the outside cats, we already named Willow. I can't remember. Was I already watching Buffy then? I don't know. I already named her Willow, so. But, one of the kittens, if it's a girl, I really want to name one of the kittens Buffy. So, hopefully I can do that. Okay, and those were all the Patreon questions. Now we're going to go over to YouTube. Okay, this is from Abby. Unlike Season 4 of Buffy, we have no romantic relationships on Season 1 of Angel, although we came close with Doyle and Cordelia. Out of all the characters we know, main and supporting, are there any shippable couples? Any you'd like to see? And any you'd hate to see? Thank you. I really think any of the characters can be shipped together. Well, not any of the characters, but definitely take Cordelia. I think she could be shipped with Angel, especially seeing his bond with her near the end of the season. If you would have asked me this back in Buffy, no way. She was all over trying to get Angel until she realized, like, he was Buffy's. But I really think they could be good together. But then again, her and Wesley kind of had a past. I mean, it was kind of goofy in the past, but when he came back and she kissed him trying to give him the visions, like, she was like, whoa, he got better at kissing. It wasn't awkward like it was the first time. So I could even see them being together. Other than that, there's not really any more combinations. I mean, unless Gunn comes on, I don't know how he would. We haven't seen him interact with Cordelia, I don't think. But yeah, I'm game for anything, really. I don't think I'd hate any of them. Angel being with Cordelia, it could work. I don't think I'd ship it as much as Angel, but hey, who knows? But if I had to pick Angel and Cordelia or Wesley and Cordelia, I don't know. Maybe. I think I'd be leaning more towards her and Angel. Barbara Baker asked, which episodes gave you the greatest insight into each of the mains? Angel, Cordelia, and Wesley. It's kind of hard, because I don't know the episodes that well. Obviously, you guys have seen them multiple times. Off the top of my head, Angel, I'd probably say, like, the prodigal, seeing kind of flashbacks with his father and seeing his past. I think any of the episodes that really showed his past, showing more insight on him. I think I have the episodes up I can look at. Well, like I said, mostly the ones that show, like, more of his, like, backstory. Yeah, I can't, it's, like I said, this would be a question I could probably answer more, like, at the end of the series, but Cordelia, I think, like, Room with a View, we got more into her character, since it was, like, based on her, centered on her, and probably the finale, seeing her go through all of that pain, but realizing everybody needs help. I think, Wesley, first one that comes to mind is probably I've Got You Under My Skin, getting a little more insight on him from, like, what he had to deal with his dad, and probably, like, 555 and Sanctuary, seeing his allegiance in the past would have been to the council, but now it's to Angel. So I hope that answers. Hold on. I've been talking a lot and my throat's getting dry. Mind-Body Integration asked, what do you think is the difference between why Angel fights monsters and why Buffy does? Well, Buffy's the Slayer, so that's pretty much her job. She does it because she's one of the only ones that can. I think with Angel, Like I said, his arc has been a lot about redeeming himself. So I think each demon he kills and saves people, he's getting that much closer to redeeming himself, even though he probably feels he can never get there. But I think it's more with Buffy, it's her job, her calling, and with Angel, it's just like his mission, like his what he can do to make things better. Indigo asks, what do you think is going to happen with Darla in season 2? I have no idea. I know they're obviously going to use her against Angel in some way. I'm really interested to see how they're first going to see each other. How it's all going to come about that he's going to find out she's alive again. Or, you know what I mean? But literally I have no idea. I do have a prediction for her in my prediction, so I'm going to leave that. But for the main point, I have no idea. Angelic Mouse Girl asked, the show and the character Angel give me kind of a Batman vibe. Do you like that about the show? Like I said right when I first started watching it, and he was like climbing on buildings and jumping across buildings, and the music, and just like, I'm like, this was totally, and he even had like the shooty thing, like the grapple. I was always joking, it felt like Batman. I think as the season went on, they kind of deviated from that. But I actually liked it. I thought it was funny. Because the show did have a darker tone. He is kind of like they said, the Dark Avenger. So I think it kind of did fit his character, and I think he would have been a good Batman if he ever became Batman. But I liked it. Yeah. D. Brockbank asked, were you surprised to see Cordelia leave Buffy and come over to Angel? Do you think it was the right move for her character? I already discussed that. Yes, I was surprised, but it was the best move they could have done for her character. Brandon with WWE Lent asked, what was your favorite Angel episode of season 1? Wait till after this segment, and I'll tell you. Grant Thatcher asked, Angel, the show originally started as a standalone show with Angel saving the victim of the week / killing the monster of the week. Then in the later half, it became, it changed to being about Angel and his own journey. Which style of the show do you prefer? I like both. I do prefer more arc-like journeys, like Buffy, with still, like kind of standalone episodes in between. But I do kind of like knowing, like having an arc. But with Angel, I kind of like both because the monster of the week, the saving people of the week, victims, did really make it different from Buffy and had a different feel to it. But I am enjoying now the later part of the season having more of this journey. And I think it is going to continue now with this scroll and with Darla, so I'm really interested to see where it's going to go. But I enjoy both. And they have another question. Out of all the crossovers, which is your favorite and least favorite? Favorite crossover, I say favorite crossover has to be Faith. Those 2 episodes were like some of the best of the season. I did really enjoy, I'd say almost tied, is Buffy's crossover with I Will Remember You, even though it was heartbreaking and I cried at the end. Seeing them, getting that little glimpse of what they could have been was amazing, and it was beautiful. My least favorite probably was Buffy when she came back on Sanctuary, because the way they painted her character just wasn't the greatest. I understood where she was coming from, but she didn't have the same view we had of seeing Angel, the show, and what happened in 5x5, so that's probably my least favorite. Heavenly Dreams asked, who or what was the scariest villain of the season? I'd probably say, because some of the early ones are the ones that really made me go, ooh, I'd probably say the one in Lonely Heart, like the monster that, like, went into you. Or I Fall to Pieces, the guy could fall to pieces, like those 2. Also, those, like, Nazi demon ones from Hero, those were pretty creepy. Yeah. I wouldn't say any of them were, like, super scary, but more like, ooh. I'm trying to think of the other villains. I don't think we've gotten any really scary ones like Buffy with the Gentleman and, Der Kinderstadt or whatever. Unless I'm forgetting. Meister Incognito asks, how do you think Angel must have felt after killing Darla with his own hands in Buffy Season 1, considering they were together for centuries living like a married couple? well, it's kind of hard to think about because there's a separation there because it wasn't really Angel, it was Angelus. I know some people think they're separate, some people think they're the same. I'm in the middle. I think I lean more towards them being separate. But obviously he did have those memories of being with her, and that connection obviously didn't go away just because he got a soul back. So I think killing her was hard, but it's what he needed to do to save Buffy, and I think it was better for him in the long run. They also asked, do you think Angel might love Darla more than Buffy? No, I don't think he loves her, not in the same way. He was in love with Buffy. Maybe jealous, because I don't know if angels feel like true love, but I think he had the love of more of she created him, she took him away from like his dad and like his life, and but I don't think he like loves her more than Buffy. Kaylin S. asked, now that you've had a true taste of the two most prominent sides to Ensouled Angel, confident, badass, and shy, klutzy, recluse, and you have seen how good of an actor he truly is, do you think he was acting or truly being himself around Buffy when they were just starting their relationship? Ooh, that's a good question. Like I said, we never saw him act anyway, and he did like kind of the klutzy, cute angel. So, I don't know. I think he was still kind of guarded around her. And I think it was mostly just the way they wanted the character to be on Buffy. But I think for the most part he was, even though he probably still was guarded. So I don't think he was fully himself. But the love he showed Buffy, I think, showed his true nature. Regarding Sanctuary, who did you side with more, Buffy or Angel? Angel. Mostly because I get where Buffy was coming from, what she put her through, what happened. But she didn't see, I mean, at the end of Who Are You, she saw how broken Faith was. Like, literally punching herself. I hate you, you're disgusting, you're a murderer, you're a killer, you're nothing. And it's almost like Buffy forgot that happened when she came over to Angel. And she obviously didn't see how broken Faith was, literally wanting Angel to kill her. That scene at the end of 5 by 5. And she just sees him with her, Angel with her, and obviously, like, has the sense of betrayal. But I think if she would have saw what happened, like, she wouldn't even listen to Faith, like, when Faith was, like, telling her. So I was more an Angel in this, because I really just didn't like how they portrayed Buffy when she came over to that, even though she had a right, but she didn't get the whole story of what has happened since then. If Doyle had survived the season, what do you think would have changed in the finale? Well, obviously he would have still had the visions, so the guy would have come after him and give him the visions. I think at the point Cordelia and Doyle would have been together, probably as a couple. I don't know if Angel would have been as, like, frantic to get the scroll to save Doyle as he was with Cordelia. You know, Doyle was, like, going to probably be his best friend. I really don't think it would have changed that much. We would have had Cordelia, I don't know what she would have done. She probably would have just stayed by his side and Wesley's side and been there. But yeah, I don't think it would have changed a ton. Isaac Bardavid asked, hi Amber, at the beginning of Angel, the series, it was more episodic, and around mid-season it became something more serialized. Which do you prefer? I've already pretty much talked about this. I usually prefer serialized, like, Buffy, like, arcs, but I do like standalone too, and I think it does make the show feel a bit more separated from Buffy, so I like both. I prefer arcs, but I can go with both. Just like that gif where they're like, both? Both. Yog Sothoth, sorry if I butchered that, asked, what do you think the world would be like if everyone in it had touched the talking stick in sense and sensitivity? I think the whole world would have turned into what the police station had turned into. The people that had touched it, everyone had touched it. Because I was saying if most people touched it, the whole world would have went to crap, but if everybody had touched it, I think it would have started where everybody was really nice to each other and everything, but I think people would start having misunderstandings, kind of like the guy that was, like, into Kate, and I think really it would turn into everybody's, like, having crimes of passion, like, they would love you so much that I gotta do this. Like, I think the world would just, you think, oh, if the world all had kindness, it would be better, but I think too much kindness might be a little too much. Just a Loudly channel asked, who is your favorite lawyer from Wolfram and Hart? I would say Lindsay. I liked him, but now with what he did, not so much. It's probably Lila. I really like her attitude. I hope we see more of her. Veronica Quintera Torres asked, what would you like to happen in the next season related to character development from Angel, Cordelia, Wesley, and Gunn? I would like Angel to continue opening up more and being, he can open up even more and be more, affectionate. I'd like to see him just open up more and get even closer to the group. Cordelia, like I said, I want her to continue on where she's been going to, being more compassionate and really taking her role as getting the visions even more seriously and wanting to help. Wesley, same. I mean, like I said, I love their character development so far. I just want them to continue where they've been going. As for Gunn, they asked about Gunn. Like I said, I'm not sure where his character, if we're going to see more of him, but I'm hoping we are. I mean, there's such a small cast that they need to add more characters. I'd like to see him be, like he has been, more helpful and more accepting of Angel and realizing that he is a good guy. So yeah. Sergio asked, is there something you would like to change in this season? I mean, I would love Doyle not to die, or at least have him longer, but then again, we probably wouldn't have got Wesley, and I'm glad we got Wesley, and maybe have more crossovers. I love crossovers, but then again, I really enjoyed this season the way it was, so I wouldn't really change that much. Kate Laddie asked, did the show Angel live up to and or subvert your expectations for what it was going to be? Do you like Angel more or less the same as a character now that he has his own show? It lived up to what, like I said, I didn't really expect more. I didn't expect much because I didn't know what was coming, but it lived up to my expectations, whatever expectations I had, and it went up to that because it's amazing. I think it was a perfect idea to have him have his own show and expand on that because there's so much they can do with that. Do I like him more or less or the same? I like him even more now, especially since we've seen so many different sides of him and so many facets of his character and his development, and I think it's just going to grow from here, so I love him even more now. But yeah, that is all on YouTube. I don't think I got any on Twitter again. People usually tend to just stay on those two, but let me check just in case. Oh, my throat. Yeah, I don't think I got anything here, so that's about it for the questions. A lot of the questions were pretty sometimes I had a lot of similar ones, but I hope it kind of encompassed enough. But yeah, that was all of your questions. Thank you everybody who sent in questions. And let me just get over to my list of episodes. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did on Buffy. I have my top 5 episodes, and yeah, let's just get to them. I'm going to go from 5 down to 1, and yeah, let's just get to it. At number 5 is...
I'm gonna pack your little ghost bags and get the hell out of my house!
Room with a View. This is one of the early episodes, like the first Cordelia-centered episode we got. I liked seeing more of her and seeing that she was acting like everything was fine, but things weren't as good. She really needed a new place to live. I knew there to be catch because that was a really nice place, but I loved the twist of the ghost not wanting her son to leave and, like, plastering him into the wall, him dying there. Just, like, imagine that. Him just either starving or probably suffocating first, but and then she died. Oh, they get rid of her, and then now Ghost Dennis, in the house now. I love Ghost Dennis. So I thought that was a really fun episode, especially one of the early episodes, because the rest of my list is pretty much, I think we have one that's still earlier on, and then the rest are kind of later in the season. But yeah, good episode. And the next one at number 4 is...
That we sever all your connections. Well...
I'm sorry the name, the Shanshu in LA, the season finale. I thought it was very intense. A lot going on with, like, the demon guy, and them finding out what the scroll is, and the whole headquarters exploding, and Wesley getting hurt, and then Cordelia with the visions, and then, like, the box with all the vampires, and then Lindsay getting his hand cut off, and then Darla at the end. It was like, I think it was a very, very, very good season finale that really set up some fun things, exciting things for the next season. Okay, and then coming in at number 3 is, what side did I think I did this, okay. I tried to go back and forth. Coming at number 3 is...
Forget. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I'll never forget.
I Will Remember You. Even though that episode left me heartbroken and crying, it was the first Angel episode I cried at, I think. Just seeing what they could have been, seeing how happy they were, even that little pocket of time, even though they had reversed time and Buffy forgot, but Angel remembered, I still think that was like the first crossover we got, right? And I think it was beautifully done. I'm still hoping one day Buffy remembers somehow, but then again, that's not really fair. But it's not really fair that Angel has to remember too. I don't know, but beautiful episode. I loved it. Okay, and coming in at number 2 is...
Angel said there was no way you were going to give me a chance.
I gave you every chance. I tried so hard to help you, and you spat on me.
Sanctuary. This probably is going to give you kind of a spoiler of what the number 1 is. This 2-parter was amazing. I had a hard time picking which one I wanted in first place. I was going to kind of do what I did with the Buffy one, where I had This Year's Girl and Who Are You, and I only picked one of them for the list, but I had to put both of them in this list, so obviously that's spoiling what number 1's going to be. But talking about Sanctuary, just seeing how broken Faith was, and how vulnerable she was with Angel, and how much he just wanted to help her, how much she was trusting in him, wanting help, wanting to change, and then Buffy comes, and all that drama. I just think it was a very amazing episode, a really great way to wrap up that 2-parter, and then Faith turning herself in, so we don't know what's going to happen with her. Well, you guys do, but I don't, but amazing 2-parter. So, not very surprising, but coming at number 1 is... I will tell you right now, what was the tipping point for 1 and 2 was that ending scene. Like I said, they were pretty much matched for me, tied, but that ending scene was probably one of the most heartbreaking but beautifully emotional scenes in Angel so far, and that's what really tipped it to being number 1 on this list. Having Faith come over, even though by the title I knew she was coming into the show, but she fits so well into this darker tone of the show, and seeing her go after Angel, but then you find out like what the true kind of reason behind it is. That intense her torturing Wesley, but then Angel coming in and fighting. My heart was racing. Then that ending scene within the rain was breathtakingly beautiful. So that's definitely my favorite episode. The 2-parters are like my favorite. Like, this was amazing. There were a lot of fun episodes. Like, I couldn't justify saying She was in this list, even though I love the dance and the coffee beans, but as an episode, I can't justify it being in this list. But some honorable mentions, I really did enjoy, like, the premiere. Hero was amazing, with Doyle's sacrifice. I've Got You Under My Skin, creepy, like with the kid being possessed, but then he had no soul. Eternity was interesting, seeing like Angel with the happy pill. Oh, beer back. my tablet reached its limit. I'm back now. I just realized, I'm like, yeah, this review is not going to be that long. It's only going to probably be a half hour because there's not that many characters, and it's the first season, and it's already an hour long. I'm not even going to guess how long these are anymore. Anyway, I was saying The Ring was another really good episode. I liked seeing, like, the demon fighting ring. But yeah, these had a lot of good standalone episodes. But yeah, those are my top 5. Again, just like I did last time, let me know what your top 5 are in the comments down below. As for least favorite, nobody really asked me my least favorite, but I did say it for probably Warzone. I didn't enjoy that one too much. Expecting, I did not like that one. A lot of people hate She, but I didn't think it was that bad a one, but it wasn't my favorite. The Bachelor Party, some of the early ones were okay, like Lonely Heart, I Fall to Pieces. They had like creepy, gross things, but yeah. But other than that, the season, even though it started a little shaky, I think it found its way, and I think it's kind of like Buffy season 1 was finding its footing. So from this point, I think it's gonna get even better. But yeah, now we're gonna get into predictions. Usually, I talk about my predictions that I gave for this season, but I didn't give any predictions for this season because this was the first season. I guess I could have, but I didn't. So these are my fresh predictions for season 2. Usually I only do 3, but with Buffy I did 5, so I picked 5 for this one too. Most of them are kind of general, but my first one is that Darla is going to be different. Like I said, I don't know where she's going in season 2, why exactly she's there, but I don't think she's going to be the same Darla exactly that she was before. We saw how, like, traumatized looking she did at the end, obviously, so I don't know how she's going to be different, but I don't think, at least at first, I don't think she's going to be, like, right away, like, the cocky kind of Darla we know, that kind of seductive. Like, I don't think she's going to be like that right away. Might take time, maybe never, so I don't know. Obviously there's going to be a new HQ headquarters because the old one blew up. People told me that they actually did it because it was really hard to film at. I guess, like, the elevator didn't work sometimes, and it was just hard to film at, so they blew it up. And obviously they can't just keep working out of Cordelia's place, like, in her dining room, so they're going to have to find a new place. Angel definitely has to find a new place because that's where he lived, so we'll see where they're going to go. I'm excited to see what new locations maybe we'll have in season 2. Next is, I think Gunn is going to become a main cast member. I talked about before. He could just stay recurring, but ever since he came onto the show, he's been in every episode. And I feel like since there's only 3 main cast members, like, they could have a 4th member. Because there's like the main 4 on Buffy, so we could have a main 4 on this show. So I think he might become a main cast member. This is another easy one, but I think there's going to be more crossovers. Hopefully with characters we haven't seen on either show yet, like maybe Willow, Xander, Giles coming on Angel, or Cordelia and Wesley, or even Gunn going over on Buffy. I'd love to see more crossovers, or even if it's just Angel and Buffy going back and forth, that's okay too. Hopefully we have more crossovers. And my final prediction is that Kate is going to have some sort of redemption, change of mind. Like I said before, I'm kind of done with her. Her grace period is done. She's annoying. She's just getting in the way. So I'm hoping maybe she'll have a change of heart and she'll realize what Angel's doing is good. She might not ever accept that world fully or like it, but maybe she can just accept that Angel's helping, what he's doing is helping, and maybe she can be a help. At this point, I don't think they're going in a direction of love interest for her, for Angel. Who knows? I don't really want it at this point. I'd rather Angel be with Cordelia or somebody else. Buffy. But yeah, those are my predictions for Season 2. When I do my Season 2 review, we'll see what I got right or how close I got. But yeah, like I said, originally I thought this would only be maybe 30-45 minutes because it's the first season. I didn't feel like I had a ton to talk about, but you guys did give me quite a few questions, and I guess I did have enough to talk about. Like I said, it was very fun going into the show, having a spin-off. I didn't know what to expect, but I really enjoyed it. It's fun doing these side by side because I get like a little taste of Buffy, a little taste of Angel, and it does make both shows last longer, which is great because I don't want them to end. Because I have 3 seasons left of Buffy, and I have 4 seasons left of Angel, so I have a lot of content. Even Buffy on its own probably would take me a year to get done with. Add on 4 seasons of Angel, we have probably good maybe 2 years of content left. So I hope you guys are really excited for the next seasons. I know a lot of you have been saying you're excited. So, I'll probably, like I said, if you look at the Slay Alive watch order, which you can look at the description on YouTube, that shows the order I'm doing. In this order, I believe I'm starting with Angel Season 2 first, like 2 episodes, and then I'll be starting with Buffy Season 5. I'm planning on starting the new seasons by at least tomorrow or Thursday. So I'll do probably like 2 episodes of Angel in one day, and then like start Buffy the next day. So you'll be getting the new seasons this week, so look forward to that. Thank you everybody for being very patient because I had to catch up on YouTube editing. So everybody's at the same time now, so I can actually start the seasons. And yeah, I'm excited to see what Season 2 of Angel is going to bring, and Season 5 of Buffy. I'm excited for more reviews in the future. I've become way more comfortable doing these than I was in the past. And yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll see you guys in Angel Season 2 and Buffy Season 5. I'll see you all real soon. Bye.